You?
Yeah, man. So I've
Yeah,
seen
man.
bro is inspiring, man. Inspiring, and it's crazy because at first when I think of that like grind, that really working hard, and stuff like that, the first person that might come to mind was like Kobe, like the Mamba mentality type thing. But like Goggins takes it to a whole different level, man. Like I'm telling you, take it to a whole different level because like he was in the military, he was a Navy SEAL. In the book, Okolono has read Can't Hurt Me. He has talked about his life, and it's like, wow, this is this is crazy. I'm actually
Someone
you're
think
appearing
like,
twice. I don't know if that's coincidence, but on my screen you're in two different slots. But keep going. Just keep going. We'll take
Wait,
care of
so
it at the back
can
end.
you guys hear me better now? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I hear you better. So
yeah, bro. Nah, but David Goggins, bro, you're spot on, man. That guy is like, I don't know. I think he takes willpower to another level, bro.
he really does.
Like
He
you know when you're
really
working
does.
out and like you've gone to that point where like you're extremely tired and you know that like or you feel in your mind that like if I go a bit further, I'm going to tear some. He's the kind of person to say, keep going, keep going, like
Yeah,
keep.
yeah. You're right. He's in his book. He has the 40% rule. So when you're at the point where you feel like you can't go anymore, in truth, you've only gone 40% because
It's crazy.
for everybody, there's always like a fail safe thing, whether it's in your head or somewhere that just doesn't want you to get hurt, or just
Yeah,
wants to keep you safe. So like whenever you think you're like you can't go anymore, you can't pull out one more rep, you can't do that one more thing, you're most likely just at 40. That's like wow.
that's insane. It's insane to think about because in that moment you don't feel like you're at 40%, bro.
And the crazy thing that once you adjust your mindset, you're like I'm gonna do this regardless, bro. You end up cranking out more reps, more whatever. I mean, it might not be 60 more percent, but
Of
you
course.
end up cranking out more than what you think you could do. Your mind
Yeah.
always stops you before you reach like
Your
your
failure,
your
like
limits, your upper bounds, your bounds, and it's crazy. I encourage you all to read the books though. Can't
so
hurt me.
what never finished
Yeah,
like
you're probably done.
Never Finish is not as expansive, I would say, as Can't Hurt Me. Can't Hurt Me took you through this man's life story.
yeah.
Like Can't Hurt Me went around. Never Finished is, I guess you could say, definitely after Can't Hurt Me, but it's not as explanatory or whatever as
Mhm.
Can't Hurt Me was. It goes through some of the other challenges he had, some of his other like big races, some of his different ways he had grown and changed after Can't Hurt Me. Different
Mm.
things he was doing. I don't know if he's still doing. By the time of I don't know, he's probably still doing it because Never Finish is recently new, but he does wildlife firefighting. So like people who stop forest fires. That's what I believe he's currently doing.
It's
Like, and he
insane.
just goes through, his training for that, just different takeaways. I don't
It's
have
just
a full
insane.
summary. I listened to it on Audible, so I got through it quite quickly. I think I might actually just go through it again, but definitely someone to look into. If you
Yeah,
don't really know much about him, definitely someone to look into David Goggins. Definitely.
bro. My thing with David Goggins is like this man is. I mean, it seems like he's openly not a religious. He doesn't fall under like any religion per se.
I'm pretty sure he's Christian.
Really?
I'm pretty sure
Because
he's Christian.
I've never heard him like talk about Jesus or like. It just seems he's always about like willpower.
I mean, that's what he does. But I mean, from reading his book, stuff like, oh, he never takes the Lord's name in vain, or it's just he definitely doesn't. That's not the side of him he pushes out because he even said himself he's a pretty private person, but just from the different things I've heard either in the book or one of his speeches, I'm pretty sure he's Christian.
I think there was one video I watched and he was like, "I don't care what you worship, God,
No, yeah, he
God."
does. He does do that. Like
Okay, okay,
he's not one to put his own thing on you. I feel like that's how he is.
okay,
But
okay. But
I'm
it's just
pretty
like
sure he's Christian.
do
Yeah.
better. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I guess that makes sense. Because I was about to ask, like, so how is he able to achieve such feats? I mean, obviously there are other.
Is it me or Kolo just went off?
No, he
Yeah.
did just drop off.
Okay.
Also, just like
I was worried.
I switched to mic. I don't know if it's much better now. Oh
Bro, don't worry about the mic. It'll normalize on
no,
the back
it's
end.
for you guys if you can hear me because
Oh yeah, I mean I can hear you perfectly.
I
Okay.
dropped off. Yeah. Where
But
were
you're
you?
back.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm back.
Well, why do you look like you've been maltreated? This looks like...
You guys said I dropped off and I'll be here since.
Nah, it
Yeah,
wasn't for
you
long.
went to. Yeah,
It
you
wasn't,
went
it wasn't
to.
for too long.
For like 2 seconds.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
it wasn't.
wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Yeah, but
but
we're talking
yeah,
about 48 laws of power yesterday, and KK and Amasi were educating me on some insane laws, bro.
nah, and
Yeah.
I've dabbled in. I've not read the book cover to cover. I've dabbled in some of that here and there, but I'm listening.
I honestly think,
Take us
as
through. Take
people
us
would
through.
say,
Take us
it
through.
has its good and its bad, but it's good for you to know all of it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I feel like the law I was talking about yesterday was the two on how you should, like, you can recreate yourself. Like, you shouldn't let society define you. And it gives one example of a lady who, in, like, I think in one city she was like a whore. So, like, she was being disrespected, and she moved to somewhere else and now, like, changed her image, and it was like something so glorious. But then unfortunately it ended with her I think moving somewhere, and they nabbed her and they killed her. Because this is the olden days. And once they found she was lying, yeah, they killed her. But I mean, just that idea of recreating yourself, I feel like that was a solid one.
So take me through that. What about it was solid? Like recreating yourself. I don't understand.
It's like you society. Okay, you grow up. Let's say you grow up in a hometown. You grow up in Abuja, Nigeria.
Yeah.
You're in Loyola. At a point, after like 3-4 years, you've been defined. Everyone in Loyola knows you, or everyone in this city knows you as something like, okay, Kamsi, he's a good boy. Kamsi's a good boy. Kamsi won't do that. He's a good boy. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. He's a good boy. Okolo, bad boy. Who broke his Okolo? You're the one. You're the one to blame Okolo. Like, you're just defined because everyone has seen you for like 3 years. You're defined, and no matter what you do, like, it's hard. It is hard for you to get out of that definition because everyone just pushes you back inside there. So,
Yeah.
and then eventually you just accept it. Like, you would just be like, yeah, I'm Okolo the bad boy.
Okay.
So you just live your life like that. Basically, the book is saying that that's not true. Like, you can redefine yourself, like, but you shouldn't let the, like, oppression suck you in, and you just accept yourself. Like, oh yeah, I'm wasted, so I'm wasted.
This year, this age of like canceling social media, all that, like, is that how feasible is that
I
to
think-
redefine yourself?
I
When they
think
can
it's very feasible.
pull out your tweets from 10 years ago and use it to hang you.
Oh, okay. See, that's different. I mean, redefine yourself, I would say, as a more of who you are. So let's say right now, in maybe those 10 years ago, you were tweeting, like, some violent shit. Let's put that. You were tweeting some
Mhm.
violent shit. And you were like, you were a waste. You were like, you didn't used to go to the gym. You were fat. You were a computer warrior. You typing on a computer, tweeting some violent shit.
Okay.
Of course, it's gonna be hard for you to take that shit down. But what you can do, I would suggest, is drop off the internet and go and focus on your own personal life instead of directing hate towards some random guy or to some celebrity that doesn't know you. Instead of directing your hate towards them, drop off internet, look at yourself, get yourself in shape, sort out your money, sort out your income, and I feel like you would have, if you do come back, you're a different person because you have a different perspective. You actually lived life instead of, like, just being on a computer screen absorbing life. If kind of, instead of absorbing other people's life, you've actually gone out and lived your own life. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all should weigh in here, but I kind of feel it's almost sounds too easy the way you said it.
No, of course
It
not
almost
easy.
sounds too easy. You know what I mean?
Of course not
You
easy.
know, it just y'all should weigh in here.
Let me just pitch in just a little. So it's not easy, but it's easier than most people think. So what he was saying in the book, one of the things that he was saying is that the main thing that's keeping people away from reinventing themselves, of course, you have to put in the work, like, to become kind of a new person and stuff. But what's keeping most people is, like, their fear of not being accepted, or like, oh, why are you changing? Because they had a role, or the fear of now
Exactly.
they've lost their
Identity.
their identity. And it's like, like, then people will come to you like, oh, don't change for anybody, don't change, why are you changing, this is you. The thing is, that's not you, bro. Like, this was stuff that was shoved on you. I was good to use a different
Was
this
right
stuff,
there.
this
Was
stuff,
right
this stuff,
there.
this stuff was shoved on you, right? Like,
Okay.
if they came and they kept telling you, oh, you should be a good boy, you should be a good boy, and now you're a good boy just because everybody is looking at you like you have to be a good boy. But maybe you wanted to be Slightly bad. Maybe you wanted to be on the street, disrespecting a few women. Maybe that's who you are. Maybe that's what you want to do. You never know. You never know. But you did not really decide that because
Yeah.
you didn't really have much of a choice. Like as you're a child, you're impressionable, and then is whatever society wanted you to be. That's kind of what you fall into. So you reinventing yourself. First of all, if you didn't even decide, why are they telling you can't reinvent yourself? Second of all, the self you reinvent is up to you, and that might even be more the real you than the other one. So that was just some of the stuff that he said to cancel out like the fear of people being like, I don't.
I still think that's just too literal, because it's easy to say, reinvent yourself, or break through from all that pressure. But bro, in real life, is not as easy as that. It's
Right.
definitely much harder.
It's hard if you stay in the same place, because every time
Okay.
you try and change, there's a constant reminder. That's why Amasi was saying, okay, go some like kind of retreat and focus on yourself. Like
To where though? What if I don't have anywhere else to
like
retreat to?
off the internet, bro. Most of
definitely.
like the guy that's saying all this stuff, if he takes nobody actually knows who he is. If he logs off the internet and all that stuff, he has gone ghost. And then, he can go and build himself in his basement where he probably is sitting right now. But for other people, maybe it's like, okay, you move to a different place. That might not be financially possible for everyone. But you don't even have to move completely to a different place. It's just this group of people that were forcing this identity on me. I might have to cut these people off.
So what did you do about your parents, your siblings? What are
If
you
you
gonna do
live
then?
with your if you don't live okay, most people don't live.
You have to go.
Okay.
No, like
Let me
I
just
agree.
offer-
I agree with your idea, but I'm trying
Let
to
me-
make sure we are rooting it in like practicality.
I think it's very practical. Even if it's
Okay.
your mother, for the most part, most people is like you call those people and then you talk with them. But if you pull away, like unless they are like parasites, they will not like chase you. So you yourself, you have a saying, okay, these people I'm not talking to anymore or something like that. The thing is, you feel alone and you feel deserted, which is that's the hard part that I'm saying.
That's a very hard. That's a very hard
Because I
part.
never said this thing was easy. I'm just saying it's easier than most people think. Like you being alone and stuff, it takes some strength of mind. But you have to change your environment to be able to change yourself, or like to give you space to change yourself. If you stay in the same environment, those things that shaped you, they will keep pulling you back.
Bro, I swear there's one. I mean, I hate to reference this very terrible, horrible human being. I think they call him Andrew Tate. I'm not 100% sure what. I saw a video of him talking about.
Well, listening, talk to her, listening. We're listening.
I hate him too, bro. Like I hate his guts. Like what kind of
terrible.
inhumane human
Oh
being
my
is this?
goodness.
I saw a video of him saying, "There's no easy life for a man. If you stay poor, I swear, I and Giovanna were talking about this yesterday. If you stay poor, you don't want to hustle, you want to be sitting on your bed eating pizza and chips, you will suffer still. But then, if you want to be better, if you take that chance at greatness, you will still suffer. So there's really no easy, you know what I'm saying? There's no way to like escape making a difficult decision or like doing difficult stuff.
Mhm.
So why not do the one that could produce, good stuff?
No, I mean, I would say so. You said why not do the thing, but that's the thing. Going through the either rest isolation or hardship to get better doesn't guarantee you getting better.
It
So
doesn't.
let's say me, I'm in my place, I'm comfortable where I am, right?
Yeah.
What is my incentive of even taking that risk if I know that there's no guarantee?
Let me,
And
If you're comfortable where you are,
Because
you're
where
not-
I am.
thank you.
so you're saying like you're not. That's the point. Most of this is like you deep down are not like you don't like where you are.
No, you don't like where you are, but it's more comfortable to stay here than to try and go somewhere else. So I'm telling you, I mean,
I don't-
what you're kind of proposing an idea, so I'm kind of trying to put myself in the mind of the person who this idea can help, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, if this idea cannot spur me to action, it's useless.
I'll say this. One guy, I was very short. One guy on this call, as the guy always says, "You're not ready." Honestly, just you're not ready. You're not ready. Unfortunately, you're not ready. That's the truth. If you feel like you don't like where you are, but you say, that's too difficult. You're just not ready. When you're
So
ready,
is that how the law works?
no. I'm just saying, you're not ready. You're
If you're not ready, you're cast aside.
you're not cast aside.
No,
You're
no.
happy.
I mean,
You're,
no. See,
you're,
the thing is,
you're not
okay,
happy, but you're
let
not
me
ready to move.
let me just
so-
say one thing. Let me just say one thing. You know. The thing is, this person that's saying I'm not ready to move, like, what else can I do? I don't know. Are you looking for like a button to press?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, okay, validly, you're looking for a button to press, but there is no button to press. There are punching bags to punch. You know, like I'm referencing Jim, but I'm saying like the things that you want to produce, like what has set you inside this thing was not easy. It was like years of bullshit that got you into this your identity. To get out of it, it might not be years that you need to take, but you need to take steps that are going to require something more than scrolling and watching some videos or clicking a button. You have to like do stuff. So to the person that's saying like I'm comfortable here is too hard, like if that's your choice, then stop whining about it, because it was a choice. Before you were ignorant, you didn't know what to do, but now you know what to do. It's hard to do and it's difficult to get out of your comfort zone. The only thing I would say is, okay, maybe find like maybe us that are proposing this, we need to find ways to like step people through the stuff. Like, okay, this is where you go to figure out how to be emotionally resilient enough to cut people off, or this is where you go to find, because maybe finding like those things by themselves, like, I don't know where to start. How am I, like, how do people start up with gym? What, like, there are all these things to consider. Max, I would say, okay, something that lays it out for this person or these people so that they know the steps that are there. Like it's outlined for them. They are okay, because one thing you said is, I don't know if it's guaranteed, but if there's something that there's a plan leading to a destination that you will most likely get there if you put in the work. The only variable thing is whether you're putting in the work, not whether it will work. Then, I would say, okay, yeah, that might make things better for them. But the hard work, you're going to need to put it in yourself.
But see, again, I don't want to keep going back and forth with this. So let me just say one last thing. Say, I've tried before, life has beat me down. How can I take that leap of faith? And also, let's say the people that are pushing that negative self image on me, I'm reliant on them in one way or the other. What then?
First thing you need to do, if life has beat you down, first thing you need to do is like, I think you need to take time to actually, like recover. Like I would say you can't. Okay, there's something in the book where like you don't attack a king or someone more powerful than you unless you're sure you're going to win, kind of. And like, it's all in the book where it says you shouldn't let pride make you fight. If you know you're weaker than this guy, you should never fight just because of pride. So first thing I would say is you should probably need to take a step back and just like figure you out, kind of, before we move anyway. I don't know if you guys are. I'm gone because everyone is popping off.
Oh,
No,
like we're here.
You're good.
Oh, for my screen, all of you are like black screens now. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a little racist. That's a little racist. I was like, I don't know how the others on this call. I don't feel comfortable.
It can't be racist that I'm fucking black. But I'm saying, but you get what I'm trying to say. I feel like first step is to like take a step back and like help you like figure out you first, because it's not an easy battle. I'll say it's not something you can do with short term like motivation. Like motivation isn't going to push you through this. You need to actually want it. So it's longer. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Khabib, I don't know if you guys know Khabib, but he's a UFC fighter, one of the greatest like UFC fighters. He said like there'll always be great people. Whether you decide to be great or you don't decide to be great, there will always just be great people. So you can make the decision to try and add yourself there. You may not succeed, you may succeed. But then at the end of the day, like balls in your court to try to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just add one more thing from that very despicable man. Let's just not call his name. But he poisons. What he said was like, there's this phrase that people always say, like, it's okay as long as you tried your best. Like just try your best, and then whatever happens, at least you tried your best and you have no regrets. What he said is that, like, yeah, try your best, but if you truly, truly try your best in this universe, you cannot fail. So it's like, for like, I don't know, it's just like a principle that the people that really, really, really actually try their best. So those people that said, "Oh, I tried my best and it didn't work," it's like you tried your best. Like you didn't try your best like to like every single moment. If you truly try your best and then you put your mind into it, you cannot fail.
So is that like into anything you do? Like just put 100% into everything you do, or what? Like what is?
It could be, but I think for at least for things that you're trying to learn or like come out of a bad situation, if you try everything that was really obviously, like, bro, if maybe like a meteor is falling or some heavy object and you say, I'm going to try my best to not get crushed by this, I'll lift it up or something, it's like you're going to die. Like you might have given it everything, but you still die. But for normal everyday things or for things that you want in life, if you truly, truly try your best to find a solution, okay, I think maybe that's a better way to say it. If you truly try your best to find a solution and you do your best to enact the solution, then like you cannot fail. That's what
So
he was
does
trying
that
to
mean
say.
every time I fail, it's because I didn't try my best?
No,
No,
but it's not a failure.
No,
I don't think it's a failure.
it
A failure.
that's like a setback. Like
Yeah.
like
Setback.
you fell down and you learned something, but the place that you're trying to get to, like,
Yeah, it's probably not like a linear. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you fall, but like you stand up, you keep going. Fall, but you stand up, keep going. You
And
just have to keep going. Consistency.
And a lot of the time, like wherever you are, you might think, I'm not moving forward, or I've been in the gym for 3 months and I look the same. Like most of the time, it's just because it's you. From other people's perspective, sometimes you're actually making moves. You're changing yourself, but then because it's you, it's harder for you to like see yourself move forward.
That is true. Then.
So you have to just trust the process. If you trust what you're doing is like leading to the right path, just trust the process. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Funny you said that the process. How do you guys think of goals versus systems? It's a bit of a tangent, or just the idea of setting goals versus systems. Because I listened to this productivity guy online. You guys might have heard of him, Ali Abdal.
No.
You guys might have heard of him, but he does stuff about productivity and stuff like that. And he talked about how he's not really big on goals. His thing is more so, like I must say, the process, systems, putting systems in place that, as long as you adhere to these systems or processes or whatever the case may be, these fail safes, however you want to put it, but as long as you adhere to this, you will get to your goal.
Yeah.
So as opposed to having the mindset of I'm looking towards this goal and I'm building up, I'm focusing on the goal a bit less, and I'm focusing more on the systems that will get me to the goal. Or yes. So what do you guys think about that? Giovanni Ishoku's way in here. You guys haven't said anything.
That makes sense.
What they are thinking.
So wait, before you talk, Amasi, when you talk about systems, like what exactly was he talking about when he said systems?
Okay, so let me try
that's that Canadian accent, bro.
I was about
That's
to
crazy.
say, I can't lie.
I'm resident of Canada, so it's like I have to rep my country, bro.
Okay.
I have to rep my country. I have to rep my country.
Let's get back in track. So let's say let me attempt to give an example. Let's say my goal is to read the entire Bible cover to cover. Let's say that's my goal.
Mhm.
And then maybe in this realm of systems, I'm just going to focus on reading a chapter a day. So I'm not so much counting. I'm not so much checking every day. Like how many chapters have I read, or it's on my mind. Is not so or getting through X number of chapters. It's just each day I'm just thinking one chapter, and I know that if I stick to this, eventually I'll get to my goal of all chapters. I think that's the example I was going with. I think that's where I was going with this.
I think that makes sense. Like having systems is very beneficial because like you can't just set a goal. Like let's say I want to have like I want to bench
So,
250 pounds by the end of this year. I can't just start attempting to bench 250 pounds like the next day or in 2 weeks. I have to like set, start from 200, start from two, like go to two. Make sure I'm doing like shoulder workouts too, biceps, back to like help me with my chest also. And like doing legs, like do other stuff. So you need to like have a plan basically. Like and the thing about having that plan is like you have to be consistent with that plan. Like for the Bible example, that's a good example because I'm actually doing that also. So like three chapters a day to like finish the Bible eventually. Like because if I said I wanted to like finish the Bible and I started reading like 10 chapters a day, like I just started reading like next episode and let me just read like finish the whole of Ecclesiastes or the whole of like Psalms or something. Like it's not gonna I'm probably gonna tire myself and I'm probably not gonna last long. So if I like divide it into like systems, then I'll probably be able to achieve my goal or will make me like it will increase my odds of achieving my goal. Feel like that.
Okay. Giovanni, thoughts?
Benching to
What?
No.
Do you want that to do you want me to add that to my goals by the end of 2023? I can try.
I heard that you're benching it right now. Somebody told me that you benched
275.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
No, please. For now, my max is 250.
Thank you. Immediately you're closer to this guy became a Nigerian again.
Giovanni, weigh in here real quick. Just the idea of goals versus systems, and also in the idea that focusing on systems is definitely bound to leave you less anxious, as opposed to worrying. Oh, I need to get an A on this test. You're more so focused on just the continuous reading. But then, on the other hand of that, sometimes I wonder is that to what extent should we be driven by that fear, quote unquote, or anxiety? Because it does drive you. That anxiety of not wanting to fail a test does drive you. But to what extent should you be driven by that? Because it's all good and fine to say yes, I should. It's more beneficial for me to focus more on the continuous reading as opposed to being worried about the test. But sometimes I feel that just the more continuous reading approach lacks that little bit of oomph that kind of pushes you to act. But what do y'all think? Giovanni, can you weigh in?
Do you want me to weigh in on what you just said or the goal system?
Just whatever. I've said a bunch of things. Whatever resonates with you, just weigh in something.
But I believe, when you say goals, are you talking about a situation where it's the goal is I want to be rich, and that's just it.
However you interpret it, just goals in terms of things you want to accomplish. Okay.
I swear, most normal and sane people combine them. You set a goal and then you work towards achieving the goal. Now it's definitely a huge amount of naivete if you were.
I don't know why we're pretending to speak
trying to increase my
English. I'm so confused.
Don't discourage it. Let me increase his vocabulary. Let him increase the vocabulary. Please free him. Continue. I like it.
Get a word like that.
Yes, it's a word.
Wait, what do you say?
As children, what we did was set goals and say, I want to be. We never thought about the process to get there. As we matured into adults, definitely we came to understand that there was definitely a process to get there. Doing this together.
Bro, you're breaking up.
Your mic isn't too good.
You're breaking up for a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick up your phone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Nigeria came back.
We can't see you, bro. We can't see you.
No, your Nigeria came back.
Hello? Guys, Christ, calm down. Let him land. Calm down. Let him land.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is, ever since we became adults, we came to realize that a goal without a system, in my opinion, a goal without a system is pointless, and it probably would.
But we should emphasize more though. Like we established that you're going with both of them, but where should you put more of your focus?
Let me just
It's
one.
Wait, just okay, calm down. Let him land. Let him land.
I
Let
say
him
a
cook.
system because it's like say your goal is to get rich. Okay, what happens when you get rich after that? But with a system, you come to it's like you're setting all these mini goals to achieve till you get to the supposed main goal. But with a system, you can actually continue even past your main goal, and you can keep improving. Whereas with the main goal, it's almost like there's no. It's almost like all these Disney movies where we get to the point where the happily ever after, but we actually never see what happens after. I rest my case.
I'm trying to say something because
I mean, I was kind of going to say what Bob was saying. Like, you can't have both of them just in a vacuum. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to be rich," and you have nothing in place to try and get rich, because the rich is never going to happen. And you can't just like have systems. Like you can just have systems, but then whatever you achieve will be on accident if they are not informed
No,
by
no,
your
no,
goals.
no. Sorry to
No,
interrupt,
I
but like,
know, I know. I'm going to get to that. I'm saying, yeah, sure, you inform your systems with the goals, like you calibrate them correctly so that you achieve the goal that's there. But yeah, I agree with Bob, like, following like the system should be more important than the goal. But it doesn't mean that you should never actually lose sight of the goal. Because if you're like, okay, like I don't actually I like, oh, okay, I wanted to be rich by a certain age, but with how I'm going is looking like it's not going to happen. And then you're just like, forget about the goal. Like, let's just continue doing this thing that I'm doing. It's evident that your system is no longer working and is not on track. What you need to do is reevaluate. So yes, I'm more for the system, but if you see that the goal is no longer on track, you probably should change the system. So that was just my take.
Solid take,
Hmm.
solid take.
Thank you very much.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like on the same line, it's also easier to not get overwhelmed. Like I know I've felt overwhelmed before with what I like set out to achieve. I think because considering the fact that you're not happy where you are right now and you're trying to go somewhere, but then if you keep on thinking of that place that you're trying to go, sometimes it gets overwhelming. I would say that adding that system to make like maybe 3 month intervals of like doing something and then reevaluating, then it definitely helps cool the nerves and help you like focus more on now instead of later, because like the goals sometimes are far away and you can be overwhelmed of thinking about far away that you forget like the steps you're taking today. That's how I feel on this.
I, I I have more to say, but I feel like it will just and we'll end up just going back and forth. Because yeah. I feel like I don't think I explained it as well as I wanted to. I feel like we haven't really gone deep into what I really wanted, but we can bring that up at another time though. But interesting thoughts.
I
Interesting
mean,
thoughts.
I have
nothing
a
stopping
I have
you.
a
Sorry, what are you going to say,
I
Francis?
What's
just I
up?
just wanted I just wanted to hear what everyone's going to say about this.
I have a quick tangent. It's really not a tangent; it's a line of its own. But
Yeah.
have you guys ever thought of like, okay, maybe for Shokus, you're working now, right? So I was just
Mm-hmm.
wondering, like, have you ever thought about opening like a business or like doing some work that's aside of what? Because I'm sure they give you like a visa or some shit. Because I was like, like, what can I? Because I've been reading all these like finance books and all that stuff, and it's like I don't know how limited I am in my financial capabilities. Like, what can I do or not do? So I'm like, should I want to like find like an immigration lawyer or something, and then just like talk with them and then figure out like what can I legally do? Not like, oh, like this is something that I want to do that is illegal for everybody. It's like legal for citizens and residents. But I want to know if like can I do any of those things? Because
That's
I
Are you
that's
bro,
American? Are you American?
I
Favor,
don't know
are
if
you
you've not
American?
heard my
No, it's
accent.
he was
No, no,
was
I'm
born in
saying
was
he might.
he was
No, he
born he
might
was
have
born
a
in Nigeria.
passport.
I
He
was
He
was
might
born
born
in
in
have a
Lagos,
Nigeria.
bro.
passport.
bro.
He might have a
He
That's
doesn't
passport.
have a
prob-
he doesn't have a blue
that's
passport.
probably your best course of action, the immigration lawyer thing. 'Cause I feel like no matter how much you kind of research, I feel like you actually honestly need to sit down with someone who really knows the law and can actually help you out.
How
Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where to go and find an
I
English.
have I've had like I've spoken with an immigration lawyer like this too, because it was online of that time people were thinking of YouTube and shit like that.
Mhm.
So I don't know how far you are or what your people have offered you, but I know that when you're on like a visa or the certain H1B, those work visas, you're only legally allowed to work for the company on the visa. So
No,
it gets
first.
very sticky when it's like, what are you doing that's earning a certain amount of money or doing activities outside of working for this person, whether it's
Okay.
allowed, kind of. So it's like you're not allowed
Yeah.
to make money on YouTube from if you're like
Yeah.
But then again,
from there, so it's
I've often wondered
very
about that
sticky.
because, for example, right now, I'm a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, right? Calm down.
That's that light skin energy, bro.
Calm
That's
down.
that light skin energy,
Calm
bro.
down.
I knew it wasn't one of us. I
Calm
knew.
down. Let me land. So let's say, like, let's say, I want to make money via like YouTube or etc. Right?
Yeah.
How does that work? Seeing as it's some of our citizens are non-citizens, so how does that now work? That's another thing I've also wondered about. Like, how does
Do you mean you making money as an American
no?
citizen?
Like I'm saying that there's also it's a group, like we are all doing this together, but there are some people are citizens, some people are not. So how does the legality of that work?
What's happening here is we're all doing this as a like recreationally. So this is just for fun, since we're not making money. Now, if we are so-called trying to make money, then we are not making money. Winwu is making money, and we're just supporting him for free. We're just on him.
Basically, Winwu, you're the pimp. You're the pimp, and then we're all just, and we don't get paid for nothing. You just maybe you feed us, come chow in my house, play Xbox, but none of the money is coming here.
Exactly.
I'm asking. I just wanted to. The person that you spoke to, I don't know if maybe like I can speak to them as well. Because another thing is, like, I want to hear it, officially from someone. But then another question I was concerned about is like, because we can invest like money that we're making, right? So I'm like, what other things can I do that will allow me to make money? So it's like it's not like I want to work for someone and be getting additional income. But what
no, I'm talking about working for yourself. I thought you meant like working for yourself.
No, I know, like it's still part of the like. My thing is, I don't have the desire so much to like I want to do this kind of work. I just want to know every option there is for making money. So if it's making money from like I should what?
I was gonna say I would say you should find someone in more like your area. I mean more specific, because the person I spoke to, no hits to them. They're like a local. How I know how to say it. They're like American. Like they don't really. They're just more of telling me the rules, kind of. So what you're looking for is someone that is willing to
to like see
explain more, because they were more just telling me, oh, this is what you're meant to do. This is what you're meant to do. This is what you're meant to do.
I met somebody like
this not allowed. Instead of being able to have that kind of conversation, you want like more of options. They were more of just legal, like, oh, this is stick to this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll be the person to help you.
I think maybe like all the job boards like LinkedIn and stuff. Just look at immigration lawyers, see people's experience. Anybody that might relate to you, and
you're a wise white
message,
man. You're
message them.
The smartest white man ever.
He called down, and then message them and see if anybody reaches back to you.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best thing to do. Yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
It's a sticky one though. I remember talking to her, and it was very discouraging. I just listen to her talk, and I was like, damn, bro. You're in chains. Let me got you chained up, bro. It's like, you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to
just like back in the day, bro. Like back in the day.
That's wild. That's wild.
Nah, it's for real, and there are so much laws. It's very sticky. I can't lie.
I mean, they won't tell me what I haven't heard before. If all I hear from them is no, then I mean, first. My plan was if there's no way, I'll just invest, as I've been doing, like just allowing the thing to grow until I'm now like a permanent resident or whatever, and then I'll just be learning.
Or
marry a white babe.
Get married. It's simple. You said it before me.
Why does he have to be white?
That's what I'm about to say. That's what I was about to say. No, but you're saying, yeah.
I'm saying yeah, because That's the line of thinking. That's the line of thinking I meant.
Wait,
Go
wait,
down, go down, go down, go down.
Winter soldier.
Calm down.
Damn. Well, okay, your the question you asked, like I've thought about it too, like extra streams of income outside work, and I've like since I'm not season, can I actually like do this thing and everything? And my initial thought was no, I haven't done much research on it at the same time, but like
Marcus,
right now,
you're a Canadian citizen, you're right?
residence,
Okay, you're not a citizen yet.
no.
When will you, like, how many years does it take? Is it like America 5
I
years?
mean, I have to live in Canada for like 2 years to become a citizen.
Damn.
And
So when
that's
do
good
that,
work, bro.
I think it's 2 or 3 years, and I have to do that in the next 5 years.
guy, then don't lose that Canadian. Don't lose that Canadian
I
resident.
do. I don't. I
Guy,
don't. I
just
don't.
If not, you're coming back to PH.
wait. So if you don't become a citizen, you lose the residency too.
Yeah. No, he
I
has
think
5
so.
years
Yeah.
to live there for
Guy,
2
you
years.
might. Okay, I don't know. I'm not in the position. Maybe you can get the U.S. residency instead, and then U.S. citizenship, and then maybe you don't care. But if
US one is long, though.
Yeah. The
As an
things
I
I
would say,
I,
it's
I,
a
I
long
want
process.
I want to get this US one.
but
100%.
if
Yeah,
you were
but
if
it's
you were a
long.
Canadian citizen, couldn't you
Guy, as a Canadian citizen, oh God, you have a lot of benefits.
in the
Yeah.
U.S. right?
Yes.
I feel like that might be a faster route. The only thing is, you don't want to live in Canada for 2 years.
Oh,
Right.
there's another fast route. So like, normal marriage takes a couple of months, but gay marriage takes a few weeks. You get it quickly. So the time.
Okay, yeah, Anita is true. On that line of thoughts, I on that line of thoughts.
You guys could run some.
What do you say? I wasn't paying attention. What do you guys say?
Anita, can you repeat yourself?
You heard him, Joe. Why you say you paid attention? I know
No,
you
no,
heard him.
no.
I didn't hear. I didn't hear.
I'm being
Why?
dead ass.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
we should
Why?
be
I didn't
Why?
hear.
just talk to you.
Why? Why?
Like very
I'm being dead ass. I didn't hear.
I didn't hear you. Please repeat yourself.
Listen, gay marriage is filed faster.
Uh-huh.
So you just orchestrate. We will just help a nigga out, bro. Hey,
I don't swing that way, bro.
imagine at the courting they say that for proof of legitimacy you must kiss.
They
I
will
mean,
most likely, guy, bro. Like they will most likely.
You're
Like-
about to have pictures of traveling, a wedding picture, kissing pictures. But this one is for the marriage, like just normal marriage. So I assume they will do the same for gay marriage.
probably.
Interesting.
I
I
mean,
know
but
Mr. Nathaniel, before I said it's the requirements for normal marriage, right? I had some intuition that you're about to ask a very stupid question, and I'm glad you got to.
But
That's
yeah, that whole sham marriage thing is quite interesting.
But
Yeah.
now it's one more
Quite
time.
interesting.
Well, Nigerians are really pestering people. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to get married. And now
What's that reality show about literally this? Is it 90? No, not 90.
I think it's 90 days.
Married.
90 days fiancé or
90,
something like
90
that.
days of fiancé, something like that.
Yeah.
About like just people
I'm
just
not
either marrying
What?
immigrants or people,
For
just
visas,
for visa. Like there's a
It's a reality show for
on this.
that.
Right,
For
that's-
white
I
people
think so.
visas.
Something like it's not exclusively set for visas, but I mean, all the times. I mean, if it's most of the time it's for visa, but
Sometimes for goods and services.
but that's interesting.
You need to feature me there.
I had one more random tangent, but then it's a very abstract line of thinking. So anyone else have any other thing? I think that
I was going to discuss
Except
chess.
for the Thanos.
Wait, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I can see
No,
it.
I said I was going to wiggle some chess somehow into this conversation.
what about chess?
Nah, I just want to play. I just want to.
Wait. Before you go to chess, do any of you guys play Sudoku?
Yeah, I play
It's a
Sudoku.
curious question.
Guy,
I've never
there
learned
was
how to
a
play
time. There was a
Sudoku, bro.
time in
It's
LJC
addictive.
that I don't know if it was. I think it was me and you and Masi. Me, you and Kufu.
Yeah, at the back, I remember that too.
That's when I started learning how to play
Right.
Sudoku, bro.
In SSP, I used to play after work. I used to play that thing all the time.
Apparently, it helps with like brain chemistry or some shit. Like it helps you think faster.
I mean,
It probably does, bro, but it's addictive.
probably to
if
some
you want
extent.
the fun
Everything
game.
is like training. All these brain things like chess, checkers, Sudoku,
Yeah.
Guy,
crosswords. Probably to some extent
chess is
stimulate
I have a
you.
wicked
question.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Would
yes.
you ever commit? Would you ever commit murder?
No,
Do you think that is like when you say that is that
willingly, not
that
willingly. I
all
will not willingly commit murder unless
what would be
I am
unwilling
forced. If I'm
forced?
in a room and they
Yeah.
have
He's like this.
my brother or someone that's close to me, and I mean I have to do what I have to do. But if it's me myself, I probably wouldn't. If it's just me, I feel like if it's me, I won't really. But if it's someone else, I might.
Probably me too.
That's a very interesting line of question.
I mean, well, that question is like,
Buddy, I in trouble.
Are you scared to commit murder? Like, are you scared of how you might feel after you do it?
I mean, I would definitely feel
I've
fucked
never
up.
thought about that.
Do you think this is something that you would do and you instantly you just get on your knees and start praying or like run to a chapel? Is this something you?
I'll be fucked up. I'll feel, of course, I'll feel fucked up. I don't know if I'll run to a chapel or start praying. It's more of, a mental, thing first. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is one of those like social experiment kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I
But-
wonder how all of us will react. Like,
I have some few ideas though. I see Faithful being someone to enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just something about him.
Just
Why are you calling me by my government name?
why you calling him favor?
I like for a brief fraction of a second, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
I mean, why are you thinking about that?
It's just something that there was a show I watched where it was really a very nice show. I was talking to Nathan about this. Really nice show. Just why I can call him Nathan. I can call him Nathan. But the serious note, I'm not sure it's an anime. It's called Be the Beginning. Very, very, very well written show. And at the end, it's basically about this. It's like that view shows of him how a murderer wants some people to become like him, like where a murderer is talking about you're like me. They're trying to get you to do something to show you're like me. But this one was written to the point where the typical one. It's the murderer trying to make you kill someone. They will not come and tell you. You see, you like it too, bro. This murder made bro kill him, and the way they wrote it was very beautiful.
Wait, what's that called?
What you say? It's called Be the Beginning. It's on Netflix.
Be the beginning. Nah, I
Be
gotta
the
check
Beginning.
this
It's
out.
on Netflix.
Be the beginning.
And looking at that, bro, it really stunned me, man. He messed that brother up, and he died.
I swear that's something Joker did. I don't know why, but the Joker
I think
did this. I don't think it's something he did.
the Dark Knight movies, like you ever die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he force?
That's
when
Joker.
Joker was killed, he forced himself.
Joker and Two-Face. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker, exactly. He corrupted Harvey Dent to become Two-Face. Yeah, that was the whole concept there. But that's very
That's
interesting.
crazy, sure.
The Joker did it to Superman, and Superman went rogue.
Well, that's true. The Injustice, right?
Injustice universe, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
On a different tangent.
Mm-hmm.
on this same tangent, can you guys now see how Thanos was actually not the bad guy though?
Was not what?
Let's see. I would say he's not the bad guy. I would say we can more understand Thanos. Like we can understand where it's coming from. At first, we didn't understand where it's coming from. Now I feel like we can understand where it's coming from, but at the same time, I don't think it was in his right to do that. So I will still put him as the bad guy.
You're wrong though.
Okay, I'm curious. Who thinks Thanos was right? Who thinks he wasn't right? Yeah. Before we start even diving down, I want to hear where everyone stands.
I want to say that he's like, even if what his ideals.
Where do you stand first? Say that way. Where do you
I
stand?
think he was dumb. Like, I don't think that was.
So you're saying he's not right? Okay, so that's where you stand.
The problem is there's his ideals and his method. His ideals, I think, were right, but his method was dumb.
So combining ideals and methods now, you're not separating.
Okay, it was wrong.
Ideals okay, that's what I want to understand. Okay.
I think he was wrong.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think we might agree for different reasons. I'll tell you why.
That's true. Yeah.
I'll tell you why I think it was wrong, and you see that I might agree more with Okolo.
Say what?
Okay,
go ahead.
I thought we were taking a poll or something.
No, say what?
Actually, that should be before you start. Sorry, we're going up and down. Let's just. For me, I think he wasn't. Thanos was wrong.
When the wise man
Okolo
speaks,
thinks he was right.
I'm just
Okike thinks he was wrong. What's the rest of
I think he was wrong.
I'm asking.
Well, I have my explanation.
I think he was wrong, but I can understand where he's coming from, and I feel like on the same line of KK that he did have like the right to do what he did. If that makes sense, I can see his line of thinking.
No, this is your
That's not
explanation,
what
but
I'm
then
saying.
let's understand your
That's not-
stance first.
I'll
Wrong.
tell you what I'm saying.
I
Okay.
think he was wrong. I
Then
think he was
Giovanni,
wrong.
what's your stance on this?
Yeah, right.
I think he was right, but my fear is I might have been part of the half that would have left. That's what,
You'd have gone to heaven, bro. That's where we all.
Okay.
It was
what you say.
it was rapture.
No, but the problem is Thanos was doing. Thanos is such a random. It's not like he was selected.
Stop the blasphemy.
It was random.
Wait, let's get back on topic.
That was my problem with it. Like it was
Give me
random.
reasons.
Because he took out, or maybe let me be naive and say, the bad guys, all that. Yeah, you can see some sense. But it was random. It's a slim chance, but there was literally a chance where
It wasn't
everybody
slim.
left on the planet.
It was
could have
50-50,
been
bro.
criminal.
It wasn't a slim.
It took out half of the planets.
That's
Half of
true.
the universe, not of the planet, but
Half of the
but-
universe,
but-
yeah.
guys, give your reasons. I think OKK was starting, so that
Okay. So I was going to say the ideals first. Like the planet is headed for bullshit, or the universe is headed for bullshit. Nobody's going to do anything about it because nobody wants to go against, like, even though everybody sees that something is wrong, those social, let's just keep it close to earth. Like a nation is getting fucked up. The government knows what to do that could make it go well, but like doing this thing, the people are going to be like, no, this is against our rights, or this not even against our rights, this is uncomfortable. And then they will, like, the whole nation will head into bullshit. It's now when they get there, the people will be like, why didn't we? And it's not even like, it's so much discomfort. There's just maybe some few people that don't want to live their very, very comfortable life, or the general populace doesn't want to change, right? So that ideal, like, someone to, like, if one person was able to do this, like, that person is going to probably die and be like destroyed, punished, killed, or suffer. But because this person has taken it upon himself to suffer, if he actually had the right idea, this person has taken it upon himself to suffer and do this thing, he will be the sacrifice. Like, he's making himself the sacrifice to save everybody, even though he's sacrificing other people. And we'll get to the methods in a bit. So the ideal, I agree with. Like, he basically said, I'm going to sacrifice myself, do this thing, take all this emotional stress. These guys are probably going to kill me by the time. All I need to do is snap, but once I've snapped, I'm dead, right? And, that actually happened. They cut off his head. But he saved the universe, quote unquote. I don't know. But what I don't agree with is his method was to take out half the universe. Maybe in the Marvel world, that's something that would have solved the problem. But do you know how fast it takes to repopulate half the universe? Like, all you've done is stall the inevitable. You said you wanted to change everything, but what you've done, you cut it in half. Like, it just takes, like, the amount of time it takes to double is not that much. You maybe bought the universe maybe like 50 years, 100 years max. I don't even think it might take up to 100 years, because if two people they all have like 3 children or something, or something like that.
Exponential growth.
Yeah, it's exponential growth. Like, you've left the resources there, they will grow again because you killed the people, you didn't kill the resources, right? So I was like, bro, that was like, maybe in the Marvel universe, like, let's just assume that idea is what actually saved everything, like, for an indefinite period. Then I would have been like, okay, Fez, I think Thanos was right. Like I wouldn't have been one of the people to be like, stone him, or I wouldn't have actively tried to go against him. I might have been there shouting in the masses, no, Thanos, no, but like, that's just for conformity's sake. Like, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I really, like, it's for me, it's like a 50-50.
What if you were there? Okay. What if you were there? And
if I was there,
Thanos, he told you, in order for this to happen, you're leaving, but you can't go back. Like, there's no like, let me go see my family. Thanos just came to where you are, and he's like, I'm doing this right now, and you're going. Would you still be like,
there's always fine. Like, there's always personal interest, and then because it's me and I know I'm leaving, I'm like, I'll fight for myself. But that's only because I'm selfish, not because like his ideals I disagree with. It's just like, because the thing is, his reasoning, right? Like, his reasoning versus my life, even though they are both in the same positive direction, I'm going to pick my life, bro, because I'm not gonna die just because, like, oh, saving you. I
some
could care less
so-
about
so-
the universe. I'm just saying, if
so-
I was someone who cared deeply about the universe, and this was proposed, I would actually actively say, okay. But I don't care, like, if, like, I just care about living out my. This is also what most people
First.
care about. I just care about living out my days, having a comfortable life while I'm here. If after I die, 50 years later, the universe turns to dust, like,
But then, so why would you say he's right?
Yeah,
if he's
that's
doing
I'm
that
that's what I'm
agreeing with
saying.
that
innocent
massively.
people? Like,
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, like, if I knew it was to me, I would fight. I wouldn't say my fighting against him was necessarily out of like a moral standpoint. It's just out of necessity to survive. But what I'm saying is, if I could stand away, and I would be like, if okay, well, let's.
But then we aren't standing away here. We aren't talking the grand. We're talking about like, what do you think? Your morals, your self-interest, and all, and you
Yeah.
don't like, and plus the uncertainty factor where you don't know whether you're going or not. That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking to dissect it to morality or grand
I mean,
view.
the uncertainty factor, that would definitely still prick at my mind. The fact that it's a 50-50. If the chance were lower, like if you wanted to eliminate like 30, like a third of the universe, 33%,
that's not.
I might fuck with those odds.
33% of 9 billion. Like, bro, what are you saying?
You keep saying like of 9 billion. I'm saying I don't care about, what I care about is the odds I disappear. And I know it probably sounds terrible. It sounds terrible.
It doesn't sound terrible.
Let me just land. What I'm saying
it
is,
doesn't sound terrible.
to me, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, like, the part that pricks most people is like, he just killed so many people. That's not the part I'm concerned with. The part I'm concerned with is, and this is because I'm selfish with myself, the part I'm concerned with is, I don't want my life to just end. I have hopes and dreams and all that stuff. But what I'm saying now, you're saying holistically, and I'm saying if the chance were lower, like a third instead of half, those are odds I might fuck with.
Okay.
But like, for the fact that it's half, I will have some reservations. Just the same way if it was. That's why when you say, oh, it's 100%, he told me I'm going. I'm like, now I'm going to fight because the odds are too bad. Because that's the only thing I really care about. Am I going or staying?
I feel you. I feel you saying.
We're running out of time, so other people can talk.
Last point. I feel you saying your since it's not like 100% you're not really bothered about it. But what I'm saying is, if there's that chance of you personally feeling, oh, I don't want this to happen because it's affecting me, how could you say it's a right decision when everyone else is going to feel that way, even if it doesn't affect you? Like, how can you say it's a right decision if everyone else feels that way?
Let me. I'll just let me just address this. Amasi, what I've been trying to say is, me saying that like, if it's going to happen to me, I don't want it to happen anymore, is not from a standpoint of like, this is no longer the right decision. It's still the right decision, but I don't want it to happen. There are things that I know are correct that should happen, but then I'm going to be opposed to it because it's not going to be in my favor. What I'm saying is, I believe in the grand, like you said, not to zoom out, but I believe this is what is probably best for everyone as a whole. Like the way that they explain the situation and stuff. Like if it's dire, right? But the fact that, like, me, I'm now getting personally removed, it's like I'm involved now, me, myself, not just, oh, like, is this best for the group? And what I'm saying, oh, I agree, is best for the group. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
All right, wait, Okolo, you brought up Thanos, so defend or not defend Thanos?
I mean, honestly, this was taken from a biblical perspective. Like the take I'm about to give was taken from a biblical perspective.
All right,
so basically, they're trying to say that the writers of Marvel or whatever, they were inspired by like evil spirits, and so they've made us take the side of, I don't know if you guys know about Nephilims and all those like giants or in the past. Anyway, they made us take the side of evil instead of taking the side of good. Basically, what they said was Thanos represents God. God coming to rapture, God coming to take his people back, and then he's fighting against warlocks, witches, representing all those members, right? And in the first half, obviously, he snapped his finger, which is kind of similar to the rapture and how in a fraction of a second everybody's supposed to be raptured into heaven, right? And then he wins at first in the first part of the end game, but then eventually evil actually wins when they chop his head off. And some similarities that you see with that on scripture are which this was even one that I drew myself actually, was that Thanos sacrificed his only child, Gamora, right? Remember when he threw her off the cliff? And I guess that
she was only the only child technically.
Yeah, she wasn't his only child. He had more
Yeah,
children.
I mean, the only one he cared about, like,
precious there. She was precious to him. Like you could tell that Thanos was emotionless throughout the show, but that was the only time like you could see, damn, that shit actually hurt him, right?
Okay.
And that symbolizes as what they said. That symbolizes Jesus, God sacrificing Jesus Christ, His Son.
Okay.
And yeah, man, it's just kind of like looking at it from that perspective. I was like, damn, like this is actually crazy.
That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I can definitely see the similarities you're pointing out. Now I know what to look for. I kind of it sounds like a bit of a stretch. The whole, towards the end, the explanation you gave about what did you say exactly about the, I guess, evil winning in the end? That sounds a bit of like a stretch. But I do see the
Thanos' head.
Yeah, that part, like the idea that it's kind of sending. I don't know. It sounds. I would need to see more, but I do see the similarities in that sense with the whole Gamora thing, like his child, and the snap. I can see it, but it does seem a bit like a stretch to me. Not gonna lie.
I also see where you're going, but I can't lie. It sounds too formulated because Thanos was not some Lord and Savior. It's not like Thanos was actually a god. Thanos, in terms of the world, like interacting with Earth, it was very random. Like it's not like Thanos had been ruling Earth and had been doing anything. He just came out of nowhere and that happened. That's the only way I would say it's actually a stretch to then compare it to
It was planning to come to Earth for time. Like if you watch all those Civil War, all the plasma, what's the ending?
He didn't care about Earth. He cared about the Infinity Stones.
I don't think
it's about Earth.
It was never about Earth in particular.
Yeah.
Just some stone just happened to be on Earth. That's why he came to Earth.
Yeah.
So the connection is I can see it, but it's
it's not like he was trying to save his people. It's not like Earth was that important to him. It was just it was just a block in the way. He just needed to go there to get something. That's why I'll say it's a stretch to then compare him to Jesus Christ. God sacrificing His Son for Earth. This is too far of a stretch. Thanos was not there helping people come to a good side on Earth or anything like that. Bro. As I say, it's too much of a stretch.
Let me give my.
Is some kind of similarity. It's not supposed to be the exact.
No, there is some similarity, but
the same story. But so far as you can see some similarity, bro, they're not going to come and print the Bible in Marvel for you.
But my point is I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can find scriptural similarity in so many other things. So I don't know. I don't think it's. Yes, I can see some similarity, but I don't see it as I guess pronounced or significant as you do. I don't know. I don't.
Okay, let me say why I think Thanos is wrong, or why he's wrong. So look, if you observe Thanos, you realize he has a god complex and a savior complex at the same time. Wait. He has a god complex and a savior complex. So the god complex is that he's the boss. He's powerful. No one can challenge him and anything. And the savior complex is they're a lot of human beings have this kind of complex. So I have to be the one to make things right. I have to be the one to save this guy. I have to be the one to do the right thing. Only me, through me, and no matter the cost and anything. And I think that savior complex can be some sort of narcissistic trait at the same time, because it's all about me. You understand? So whatever that happens in the way, no matter the consequences or whatever, death, anything, that's when Gamora died or anything, it was his daughter and everything, but like she was for the greater good in his eyes. So like whatever is for the greater good, I will do it. So
Yeah.
and those complexes are not they're not very ideal complexes to have, you
That's
know.
that's
That's a
So
solid plan
yeah.
because it's on this line of like it's not that Thanos cared about you. It was more of he had made himself to be the savior of him, like his decision, less of oh I care about you people on Earth or anything like that. I, it's a stretch. It's a
I think
stretch.
the whole Thanos thing kind of brings into the idea of does the end justify the means? You know, on which side do you kind of in terms of your ethics? Do you think if overall there's a more fortunate end, do you think like a less fortunate or brutal means, the end does the end justify the means? Let's say I go through, I commit atrocities or crimes, is the overall moral judgment of my actions determined by if these atrocities lead to something good or bad, or at the end, do you take the actions on face value, to use to determine? So,
Bro, I think that's the whole story with this Israel Hamas beef. Like
hmm.
people are saying, oh, Israel is the bigger nation. They have the artillery, they have whatever, and like they're using it to terrorize them. While other people on the other side are saying that Palestine they've been being bullied and destroyed for almost close to a century by Israel, and Israel stopping supply of food to Gaza and all that. And now they are fighting back. Now the Hamas people are like, I mean, I don't know whether the Hamas people fall under Palestine, but I'm assuming they do. And now they're attacking Israel, and it's like, is what they are doing justified? They are committing atrocities. When's Israel? I think they've killed 1,300 Israeli people, something crazy like that. And it's like, is this justified? Are the actions justified?
Let's wrap up the Thanos thing, then we can come to this if we want to. So we're not jumping around too much. But the whole Thanos thing, I would say Thanos was wrong. Just mainly actually, it's hard to say something that hasn't already been said. Just a combination of everyone's answers in the sense of the. Actually, I should actually put it very well. It's the whole complex, and I wouldn't have articulated it like that. The savior complex, God complex thing, and just in my perspective, I don't necessarily believe the end really justifies the means. I think the means itself has its own merit. So for Thanos to simply just ignore, kind of just look towards the end and say this end will justify the means, and I believe in people making their choices, right? Even though sometimes people make bad choices, but I will say I do agree sometimes, you know, people shouldn't be allowed to make some choices. I have to agree sometimes, but at the same time, I don't care what you think. I've made the decision that this was best for you, and you have to accept that.
How does God operate? How does God operate?
I
Does he
mean,
does God listen? I mean, God listens to what we say, but are his plans not already like?
that's the thing. You can't even equate God with Thanos because we believe God is omniscient, omnipotent, without flaws. And that. So my argument doesn't even apply there because I'm talking about a being with flaws, with so many limitations to put themselves in this God seat is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But say Thanos was elevated to that level, I can see it, but he's not. So that's where the issues now start to flow out from.
Yeah.
I mean, right now
I agree with that.
we've been here around the long. If we want, we can jump into the whole Israel Hamas standards. I'm not too exposed on that, so I mean, if y'all want to talk about it, we can, or we can just do one more thing and close it out because I got some things
Same.
to
I'm
get to.
not too exposed on
So,
that.
but Kule, if
I'm
you are,
for
you want
for
to
peace.
enlighten us,
I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to come on here and be picking sides because as I'm also not well educated on it. I'm just saying that like that kind of comes back to the whole committing atrocities, and can you justify them attacking Israel? You know, I don't know, and I think that's the whole debate that's going on like all over the world right now. Like because some people are saying, why did they attack Israel? Some people are saying, why has Israel been punishing them for decades? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a very tricky thing. So all of y'all listening, bro, I don't know shit. I just read that stuff online. I ain't pick no side, bro.
Anybody have any? Well, I think last one before we close out this episode with 11. Yeah, this is it, episode 11. Before we close out episode 11.
I'm
Anybody
just
have
going to
anything?
say, anybody who feels like they have balls, I'm in the audience, not you guys.
You should come
Just
and
let me
play.
land. Anybody who thinks they have balls, my username on chess.com is okay. 11. Let me teach you a fucking lesson, okay? But you guys here, I'm cool with you guys.
That's a problem.
All right. That being said,
But watches this stuff comes and claps you, bro.
nah, that would be
Probably, guys.
hilarious.
Probably, my rating
That
is not
that would
even
be
that high,
hilarious.
and there are people that are on that app that are wicked. Like I still get clout like on the app just on my level, bro. So
All right.
it's
That
all
being
love,
said,
bro.
good episode. See you on the next one.